Oh, open that up. Test, test, test. 1 2 1 2. Welcome to Jubilee Stadium, a big ground for a big occasion. Two teams needing a result this afternoon. It's Rockdale Ilinden visiting Sydney Olympic in a traditional New South Wales rivalry. Lovely. Hello everybody, Saturday twilight, another tremendous occasion awaiting us in round 28. 3 games to go of the NPL New South Wales men's Sydney Olympic versus Rockdale Ilinden at Jubilee Stadium. It doesn't get much bigger in this competition. Olympic in their final home game here before the Australian Championship, and this derby, special as it always is, carries that much more importance today with finals football on the line. Olympic are in this league's top 6 sides. The early season's 3-point deduction means they need to keep winning to make the finals. And they'll try to do that today against a Rockdale Ilinden team desperate for a win of their own. Without one in 5 of 3 straight draws, Rockdale welcome back Alec Urashevsky and Giorgio Speranza today. Are they ready to bring hot form to the final series with the defence of their premiership all but over? We're about to find out. My name's Alex Bolchanov, delighted to be along with you on this Saturday twilight. Is it afternoon, is it evening? It will shortly be the floodlights taking over from natural light here. Let's have a look at how the 2 lineups look for the derby. Labano Haliti makes just 1 change from the team that blew out Manly United by 5-1 last weekend. Jack Gibson resumes in goal behind a back 4 of Zach Zoricic, Ziggy Gordon, James Donachie, and in for his first start for Olympic, Luca Pecora, after making his debut for the club as a substitute off the bench last week. He's in for Connor O'Toole, the midfield 3, Ten Quoll, Jack Armson, and Seth Clark. Quoll scored a 94th minute winner here to win the derby against Rockdale late last season. And then up front, Adam Parkhouse off the left, the high-flying Ryan Fuchs off the right behind Cyrus Demi. For Rockdale Ilinden, 2 changes in search of their first win in 5. Resuming in goal, in fact restored to goal today, is Ronan Mulgrew, who after copping a battering in his first 2 competitive fixtures has kept 2 consecutive clean sheets. In front of him, Hunter Elliott, Braden Sorge, Blake Rasciuto, and the restored Giorgio Speranza, Isaac Danzo, Lockie Constable, and Brendan Chalakian in midfield behind an attacking trident of Ollie Pufflet, Ali Orglar, and the competition's record goal scorer, Alec Urasevsky. We are underway. Keen eye on Ilinden's talisman, who's just been hampered by a few issues with his back lately. Without a goal in a month. That is a dry spell by Alec Urasevsky's standards. Olympic will be right up to the challenge of keeping him at bay. Might get an early chance here. Donachie forced to head behind for an opening corner of the game after a little bit of a sloppy first touch from Luca Pecora. Signing from the Central Coast Mariners Academy, set up in mid-season as Chalakian launches that one far too deep, and here's Urasevsky's first touch in his return to the starting side, dribbling into Armson and winning his side a second corner. A lot of critical games going on around the grounds this afternoon. We'll keep you up to date with all of those. These 2 split their fixtures last year. Rockdale got a 4-0 win. It was a convincing victory back in round 13 at the Ilinden Sports Centre by 4-0. So Olympic really hit the slump in their season. Has turned around quite remarkably since then, to the point where they've been able to see off this 3-point deduction, really. Win today takes them back into the 6 as Constable gets his head on that. Never threatening Jack Gibson's goal, but it's the first shot of the afternoon for Rockdale Ilinden. Need to start on the front foot, given the frustrations they've had recently. They have a defence full of defenders, which has been a rare luxury over the past couple of months. Braden Sorge and Blake Rasciuto seem to have set themselves up as Pani Nikas and Paul D's favoured centre-half pairing. Now they've got 2 quality fullbacks outside of them in Hunter Elliott, who's sent off his suspension troubles, and Giorgio Speranza, who's warded off injury to return to the starting side this afternoon. Nice touch from Cyrus Demi. He's drawn plaudits for his first campaign in blue and white, after signing from Olympic's Greek heritage counterparts up in the NPL in Queensland. It's been a solid return for him, 13 goals across 21 appearances. Filling the boots of Roy O'Donovan up front was never going to be an easy task, but he's had A-League experience, has risen to the challenge. Sorge had to, as that throw was arrowed in towards his near post. Heads it behind. Rockdale have scored first in this fixture on each of its last 5 playings. Olympic trying to flip that script. Trailed by a goal to nil before coming from behind to win 2-1. Last time out here against this opposition. And Armson's gone short from the corner. Linking up with Clark. It's a dangerous ball in as well. Olympic have opened the scoring. And it's Ryan Fuchs. He can't stop with it. An unbelievable start to his Olympic career continues. Rockdale's defensive worries are back. Their rivals won't care about that. A 6th goal in Olympic colours already. That's more than the number of games he's started. New Zealand, Newcastle, Sydney, it doesn't matter. For Ryan Fuchs, who's getting headers into the back of the net now as well. A superb start. Well, aren't they growing to love him? And why wouldn't they? The goal-scoring record, the direct running. He has got it all. But it's just added a measure of threat they've been missing. Olympic against set defences. Rockdale's defence just switching off for a second. Ronan Mulgrew concedes his first goal in a couple of games. To keeping a couple of consecutive clean sheets. Ali Orgla has got Ilinden going forward. He was looking for Urasevsky. And that run of Olympic Ilinden derbies. Of Rockdale scoring first. It's been slammed shut by the difference maker for Olympic. Playing inside for Constable. He's returned to a central area today. After the return of Urasevsky, Chalakian's looking for Pufflet. Just over his head, and Orgla came from an offside position. Ilinden fans have been crying for Ali Orgla just to stay out on the pitch. Sent off a few weeks ago. Unnecessary circumstances. Talent he possesses is undoubted. Really did affect his side that day. He's back there with Alek Urasevsky, who's having a word with the assistant on the near side, Hayden Kay. Ronan Mulgrew, the Ilinden goalkeeper. It's Rowan Fisher, who's our referee this afternoon. He's already got a goal noted down in his little black book. Iliden's defensive struggles have been well noted this season. Found it very difficult to get a consistent starting 4 back there together. And to be fair, I don't think it was falling on any of them individually. That goal, for a team effort, not dealing with the flick on from the set piece. Already got plenty of feeling in it this game. We expect nothing less. Olympic fans made their voices heard after their team opened their scoring. Battling for it is Ten Qual, who enjoys this fixture. Fuchs' goal timed on just 4 minutes. And Giorgio Speranza already showing why they missed him, Rockdale. Those runs from left full back. Urasevsky's ball arrowed into the near post and well dealt with by Gibson. He's been growing in confidence and quality week on week in that Ilinden #1 kit. made one of the saves of the season a couple of weeks ago against Spirit FC. Game Olympic, went on to lose, but he was superb. Save from Uwakubo. They went on to get the equaliser there, Olympic, before conceding late to Harry Keys. Lovely touch from Lockie Constable. And a beautiful release from Danzo for Urasevsky, who's onside, and he's hit the post. The little drop goes on for Rockdale skipper and talisman. Donachie appealing for offside. He was well on. The Ilinden marksman. And there's just been a few moments like that over the last 3 weeks that are very un-Alek Urasevsky. Moment, funnily enough, we were just talking about Gibson's great save against Spirit. Urasevsky knocking the ball into the side netting. So they tried to mount a comeback, weren't able to on that night. Couple of missed opportunities across the 2-0 draws. Hasn't quite been falling his way. Pufflet trying to slip it in for Chalakian. And there's certainly a chance that he'll get 1 or 2 more opportunities like that before the evening's out. Tenquol's rather unhappy that he's been pinged for a foul here. He did get a lot of the ball, but he got quite a bit of Brendan Chalakian as well. Among the most fouled players in the competition. Rockdale Ilinden's number 10. He's not shy of dishing a few back out the other way, but he's a creator rather than a destroyer, Brendan Chalakian. Tenquol has stayed out of the book. They knew they'd have their work cut out today, the officials. Always fiery between these two, spurred on by 2 sets of passionate support. And now, as you can hear through the effects mic, some arguments about quite the position of the free kick. Referee Fisher believes he's got the right spots. Brendan Chalakian will have to return from the sideline because there was no booking issued. So Rockdale attacking this set piece with 10. Rather that than the other way round. Ali Orglar over the set piece opportunity. Plenty of numbers forward for Ilinden as they try to equalise. It's deep towards Rashuto, away by Qual, who conceded it in the first place, and this is where Olympic can be dangerous. Parkhouse getting forward in transition. The help of Bakura, just didn't quite assess his options. And Chalakian's shrugging away from Qual again. Rashuto stayed forward. Doesn't mind an attacking foray. Spent most of his first stints at Rockdale Ilinden in the middle of the park, and Qual and Chalakian coming together again. The yellow card is out. I think it might be one apiece here for Qual's response to the challenge. Those two have taken quite a dislike to each other. All much ado about nothing, but I think it was payback as much as anything from Brendan Chalakian in that challenge on Tenquol. A few extracurriculars. And so Chalakian has been booked. Just waiting to see if we get confirmation that Qual has been booked as well. I don't think that seems to be the case. So just the Rockdale Ilinden 10 who's gone into the book there. Again, it's Armson tangling with Chalakian. Been very much the story of the very opening stages. Been all action here at Jubilee Stadium. Elliott's trying to give us more down the right. Pufflet was trying to give him an option infield. This is a return to face his former side, Ollie Pufflet, who's crossed the divide. He's not the first player to do that. Brendan Chalakian, of course. Was an Olympic player himself once. Urasevsky Back looks pretty free there. He got plenty of purchase on the throw. Gibson didn't really have any black and red shirts to contest with. Easy enough catch for the Olympic gloveman. Just looking to play out confident, comfortable with the start they made to this game, although they've had to absorb a fair bit in the last 5 minutes or so from Rockdale. And they're trying to give them another headache here. Orglar. His first season at the club has brought rewards, moments of magic. Fortunately, 1 or 2 moments of madness as well, but the goal return has been nothing shy of superb, hitting double figures in just 22 matches played. He's got a fair glut of assists to add to that as well. Here's Hunter Elliott. Risciuto. For Giorgio Speranza, making his first start in more than a month. Constable. Dancing away from the attention of Armson, but turning it over. The push was enough for referee Fisher to blow his whistle. Taken quickly by Risciuto. Constable knocking it wide. Chance for Orglar to deliver. Just a bit too deep. Pufflet, who lost his footing in any case. He's a Premiership winner with Olympic back in 2022, Ollie Pufflet. Good sliding challenge from Elliott. Watched it all the way. Ryan Furtz. His 4th minute goal separates these two old rivals. Wonder we've got a slate of fixtures coming up later tonight as well in the NPL New South Wales men's. In fact, we've got one underway already at Popondetta Park. Druitt Town Rangers taking on Sydney United 58. Wollongong Wolves taking on Spirit FC at 6 o'clock. And the women's, the Northern Tigers taking on Spirit FC as well. The action is lightning quick here. Isaac Danzo has had some sort of start to this game, despite his team trailing. Sorge looked to be bullied off it. Apologies if you got any of the protests to that through the effects mics. Noise is travelling beautifully here at Jubilee Stadium so far this afternoon. Orglar on the ball again. Danzo. Chalakian for Constable. This is nice from Ilinden. Donachie was keen to make sure it didn't develop any further. Pufflet has another chance to deliver. Again, it's Donachie there. And eventually hoisted clear by Tenqual. He's found his position. He's been played up and down the pitch by Labrador Elite over the past 2 seasons, but he's found a home in central midfield alongside Jack Armson. Very much the silk and the steel alongside each other, with Clark pushing forward in the 10 role next to his old Edgeworth Eagles teammate Ian Ryan Furtz. Nice touch from Parkhouse. Gone infield to Seth Clark. Cut out beautifully by Elliott. Read it very well. Telegraphed the pass a little bit. Did the Kiwi import. Nice little underlapping run from Hunter Elliott, and there's a chance there for Orglar as well. Puts it to the top of the box. Pufflet. Good piece of defending from Donachie, and then Futz's fancy feet left Elliott on the turf. Good piece of defending from Sorge. Strong enough to hold up Demi and win his side the throw. Olympic can't get out of their own half at the moment. It's been a good 10-minute spell of pressure from Rockdale. A good response to going behind. The sun sets with a beautiful South Sydney. Some irony in the fact that Olympic's new home is right in the heart of Rockdale's perceived territory. It's never been about that between these two clubs, though. Wrestle over history and footballing starting points as much as anything, footballing heritages. For Rockdale, the last couple of seasons have been about establishing themselves as one of the real powerhouses of New South Wales football. One of the long-respected clubs in this state, but one who haven't seen as much glory across their history as they've seen in the last 5 seasons. Orglar. Nice delivery from Speranza. His opposite number, Ziggy Gordon, getting back there. Speranza wanted it more, and Urasevsky has his shot blocked brilliantly by Zoricic. Read it very nicely. Feel the chance is coming for Alec Urasevsky. Always seems to be the case when he's out there. Demi just piling his body underneath Sorge. Just rode the challenge. He's a tough bugger, isn't he? Braden Sorge plays all across the back line. Mr. Reliable. Taking on a much bigger physical presence in Cyrus Demi. Word from up and down the competition about what a nightmare he is to mark. Quick in behind, strong, able to hold up the ball, and a better finisher than he's given credit for, I think. Chalakian. Armson sliding into his feet. Gordon made sure the attack didn't develop any further, and he's trying to release the man in form, Ryan Fuchs. Doesn't have too much support, so he's just going to dribble at Elliott. Try and switch it across for Parkhouse. Roden Mulgrew has barely seen the ball since picking it out of the back of his net. He's happy enough to watch that flash across the face of his goal. Trickle out of play. Orglar for Danzo. Shuto for Urasevsky. It was inch perfect, but Rockdale's skipper was offside. That's one apiece for the defender and the attacker, feeling hard done by. Donachie couldn't believe he wasn't flagged offside a moment earlier. Ziggy Gordon's tried to steal about 10 yards there. Rowan Fisher says that'll do. He's had to have his wits about him so far this afternoon. Been a gripping game of football. Not to say there's been chances flying in at both ends. It certainly hasn't, but it's an underlying intensity between Olympic and Rockdale. You can always feel coursing across the pitch into the stands. Parkhouse trying to up that intensity. Feuds! It would have been the most spectacular of all of them. And the technique wasn't half bad either. Now Rockdale have run into Olympics press, and it's Fuchs again. He's just giving the defence nightmares at the moment. Parkhouse lets it run. It's 10 Quoll. Still might fall for Adam Parkhouse. On his right foot, good save by Mulgrew. Saw it late. Managed to get down to his right and keep it out. The 21-year-old. Orglar ducking in field. And even he's being put under pressure by young Luca Pecora. Nice touch from Sorge, and now Rockdale might be out. Elliott makes his way down the right. Zoricic makes sure it doesn't develop into a decent attacking opportunity. Orglar had already found himself in a central striking position, sensing his chance might have come. Wasn't quite the case. Gorgeous ball from Jack Armson, and eventually Mulgrew got to it. So it's just keeping his feet longer than everybody to make sure his goalkeeper could come and gather. Speranza. Back into the team today. Rockdale have looked the better of the two since going behind in the 4th minute. Haven't been able to create anything clear-cut other than Urasevsky's one-on-one very early. Chalakian might be going about creating something better here. He's got a chance at the top of the box, Urasevsky. fact, it was Giorgio Speranza making his way onto that one, all the way from left full back, and he stayed forward, interchanging passes with Rashuto. And Orglar and Chalakian found themselves on different pages of the same chapter. Ball's actually stayed in. It rolled into the corner flag. Parkhouse happy to clear the danger. Clark hassled and hurried, winning the free kick. Olympics 5-1 win against Manly United re-established them as one of the competition's form sides, which is what they had been over the month of July. 2 wins, 2 losses after 5 straight that had taken them right back into finals contention. The performances have been better than that. They were unlucky to be beaten by Spirit a couple of weeks ago. Win at Cromer, where they've got a very good record, it must be said. Just ensured that they were back in and around the finals conversation. There's every chance they can continue to grow that record, but this game is beginning to take on a similar sight to the one against Spirit a couple of weeks ago, where they really let that impetus slip at different moments through the match. It's the reason they didn't win it, despite being the better team for probably more than 45 minutes. And there's a chance here for Orglar, who just stepped too early and put the ball wide in any case. Gorgeous play from Hunter Elliott. Gorgeous ball, swinging off his right foot. Right into the path of the Iraqi-born striker. Jack Gibson has had a few flashes past his goal so far this evening. I think that might be joining Alek Urasevsky as one he was more than happy to see go wide of his target. Gorgeous playing surface again here at Jubilee Stadium. As we expect every time we come here. That's despite the game of rugby league being played here just a week ago. Pitch is holding up well, even under all the water. Olympic have a very good record here. They've only lost once. The few games they've taken here was against Blacktown City the week after they'd knocked off first place Marconi. Their records, we noted going into game against Spirits, against teams on top of the ladder, has been very, very good. Over Labano Haliti's tenure, it's been the points they've dropped in other games that have been the problem. It's been somewhat the case again this year, although less so than in seasons past. Finished 8th and 9th during Haliti's time in charge. They're set to finish a lot higher in 2025. The Australian Championship on the horizon. What a relief that is for the club. Quality of player they've got on show. Lots of A-League experience across the board. A couple of very good pickups in Clark and Feuds from northern New South Wales. Demi from NPL in Queensland. The squad has been built patiently, diligently. They're finally starting to see the rewards of the work over the past 3 years. Olympic fans had to wait a while. It's finally all coming together. Danzo. Rockdale know that process. It was when they went through just before the COVID pandemic and then had things knocked a little on their heads. After that, they managed to regather themselves in 2 big title challenges, fell just short in 2023 before getting the job done last year. Looking for now is a first grand final victory since all the way back in 1984. Still their only New South Wales championship. It's 2 premierships they've claimed over the past 5 seasons in 2020 and 2024. Unforgettable parts of this club's history. Alek Urasevsky has been at the centre of all of that. Got a chance here from this long throw, which is spinning through the air, off the head of Gordon. It's fallen at the feet of Orglar, who's turning and striking! What a beauty from Ali Orglar, the genius on that left foot. The long throw of Urisevsky finished off by his left winger. Sterling stuff, and the committee travelling not too far down the road today are in full voice. And they deserve that, Rockdale, for the pressure, for the intensity, for the preciseness of the passing. It took a moment of magic, and Ali Orglar has always had that in his boots. Ilinden fans are growing very, very fond of it. And so what is Olympics' answer? So often that has been the question for them this season. Rockdale have often enough been able to bounce back. They've fallen behind as many times as any in the top six. But they always seem to respond, particularly when Urisevsky's out there, particularly when Orglar's out there with him. Chalakian's running power and harrying and hassling, ducking between defence and midfield. Led to a little bit of that. Olympic defence converged upon the ball at the top of the box. It left Orglar with just a yard more than could be afforded. Superb strike. A goal we'll be seeing for quite some time towards the end of the year, given the gravity of the fixture, given the quality of the strike. And Rockdale are trying to double their money. Orglar flying through the air, but even he couldn't jump quite to the height of that. Bang of the hands from Paul D. Recognise the terrific idea. Just a little frustrated at the overhit nature of the pass. He and Paddy Nikas deep in discussion. Up on the sideline, Labana Haliti's returned to his chair. His team are getting forward for him though. Parkhouse is off the shoulder, and Mulgrew happy to beat it into an area that Risciuto could clear from. He tried to clear from his backside, and it nearly fell to Ryan Fuchs, who's the last man you want with a ball at his feet 6 yards from goal if you're Rockdale. Now it's his old partner in crime, Seth Clark, trying to get forwards. Aren't they loving being back together, those two? Got to be careful they don't leave themselves exposed down the other end now, Olympic. Rockdale throwing numbers forward. Urisevsky with the ball between defence and midfield. Nutmegging Armson and finding Chalakian. Big chance to double. Here it is. Good save, Gibson. It was a crowded penalty area. Brendan Chalakian somehow navigated into some free space. Not spectacular goalkeeping from Jack Gibson, but the sort of thing that shows you that a goalkeeper is right on their game. Able to focus, not put off by the bodies thrusting across in front of him. Just beating the ball out of danger. Half an hour gone. It's felt like about 15 minutes. Nice turn from Clark to beat Danzo. Easier said than done. And Fuchs is in space again. Has Elliott isolated. Kept his feet. Rolled it for Seth Clark, who lost his footing at the vital moment. A little slip on the surface of Jubilee Stadium. Don't see too many of those. Well, the grass will get a little dewy as the temperature drops. It's not been a warm day. Well, actually, it has been a seasonably warm day in Sydney. Temperature continuing to drop as the sun sets. Floodlights have well and truly taken over from the sunshine now. Donachie. Linking up with Armson. Sloppy from Zoricic. I do wonder about the change to left back tonight, whether it's just affected Quite how cleanly he's been able to pass. Jurasevsky went down under the challenge from Gordon. Got the throw rather than the free kick and has returned to his feet. Lovely switch from Isaac Danzo. It's just one game all year for Rockdale. Ali Orglar's ball is headed up rather than out by Zoricic. Pufflet contesting. Still it might fall for Orglar. Speranza, it's very tight in there for Rockdale. If they can find some width, that might be the way to goal. Jurasevsky has. Oh, and it was only an inch from finding the boot of Brendan Chalakian. Stretching every sinew to get there. And any touch with a little bit more on it than that, Jack Gibson would have had a very difficult time keeping it out. Olympic have gone straight forward in the other direction. And Demi's looking for the 1-2 with Parkhouse. He was eased off it by Sorge. Not enough contact for a penalty kick, for which Olympic were baying. I think both teams are desperate to win this game. Players leaving it all out there. And we've not got 10 minutes. Well, we've still got a bit over 10 minutes to go until half time. Just lead it. If you're just joining us, Olympic taking the lead after just 4 minutes through Ryan Feuds. Terrific start to life in this competition continues. He's 6th in 7 league games. In just 5 starts. Rockdale responded well and eventually got their rewards through a stunning Ali Orglar strike. Swerved inside Gibson's far post. It left him no chance. An inch-perfect finish, which has left this game square on the ledger. Can Rockdale find a breakthrough? They've been the better team since Olympics opener. Elliott's ball cut out and then cleared. Feuds running it out of danger. Happy to keep the ball with Donachie. A win for Olympic tonight takes them back inside the top 6, pending what happens between Sydney United against Mount Druitt Town Rangers at Popondetta Park. That scoreline still sitting 0-0 and defending to do for Rockdale. Armson laying it off for Parkhouse. Stretching challenge from Brendan Chalakian, who'd got all the way back there. Clark tried to play it for Feuds and the latter lost his footing. Gorgeous switch from Pufflet. Plenty of space on this green grass and Orglar's happy to knock it out of play. He wasn't going to be able to return to his feet too quickly. Wollongong also in that hunt for finals football. They're in action against Spirit FC in about 20 minutes' time. Olympic need all 3 points to have a chance of moving past Sydney United as things stand. Goal difference, they've got them well and truly covered. Plus 14 for Olympic, minus 3 for Sydney United heading into today's game. Nice touch. Demi's got a yard of room. Now Parkhouse, similar space. Zoricic, who is a right footer playing on the left, and he's hanging it up deep. Brave piece of goalkeeping from Mulgrew. Collected Risciuto along the way, but it was necessary with Demi lurking. A goal from Ali Orglar keeps a quite remarkable statistic going from an Olympic side of things. This is 11 games in a row now where they failed to keep a clean sheet against Rockdale Ilinden. Even amongst that terrific run when they were winning premierships. Dates all the way back to their double winning season in 2018. That statistic. A couple of players just losing their footing as the dew begins to take hold here at Jubilee Stadium. Tell you what, it's leading to some gorgeous passing play from Rockdale. Jurasevsky drifting to the left, thought about a cross. Now he's trying to take on Pecora. Flashes across the face of goal. Seen him score too many of those goals on his right foot, Alek Urusevski. He's still perfectly capable, though. Clark. Demi. And Fuchs. An attacking touch, which took him midfield. Speranza's clearance was blocked. Quall's touch let him down. And Rashuto was there to sweep up the danger. After absorbing so much through the middle period of this first half, Olympic are coming with one last flurry before the break. We've already seen them undo Rockdale from a set piece once this evening. They do it again. Ilinden need to be standing at attention. Parkhouse swinging it in towards James Donachie. It took a deflection. And we'll do it all again from the other flank. Bufflet with a half-hearted protest. He knew as well as anyone that had thumped off the back of his head. Good piece of defending. Gives him an extra added bit of physicality in this sort of area, actually, Ollie Bufflet. He's found it difficult to break into the starting side this season. He's first in Ilinden colours. This time it's Armson over the corner kick. Parkhouse tried to flick it on. Demi and Quall were both waiting. Constable might have got the help of his arm, but it wasn't a handball, according to the referee. Over the top from Orglar. Urusevski battling with Clark. Bufflet there to take up the attack. Fed into a dangerous area. Urusevski was being wrestled off the ball by Clark. His team went on, and now the referee wants a word, I think, with Urusevski. Was right to be aggrieved. He was being quite aggressively blocked off the ball. Referee did indicate he was playing advantage, though, and his teammates chose to take that option. Had a couple standing at the top of the box, a better ball. They might have been up by 2-1. Not to be yet. Urusevski looking for his first goal over this losing run. Oh, Chalakian with a big appeal for handball. Everybody else looked a bit bemused by that all. Sorge again tasked with dealing with Demi, and he does a brilliant job. Doesn't just win the battle, but wins the throw as well. To the displeasure of the Olympic fans, understandably. Hear them below us in the grandstand at Jubilee Stadium. Gripping first half of action. Still got 5 minutes to play. Here's the man who got Rockdale level, Ali Orglar. The footballing story he has. Former MacArthur Bulls. Scored just one A-League goal. It was a winner in a game against Western United down at Campbelltown Stadium. He's got a flair for the spectacular. He spent a little bit of time over with Al Naft in Baghdad, of all places. It's the country of his heritage. Credited it with restoring quite a bit of his love for football. Living over in Iraq. His team's got some defending to do here. Rashuto half away. Armson waiting. Thought better of the shot and found Demi. Double deflection, and eventually Mulgrew is able to fall on the football. He's looked fairly assured since copping that early goal. Had one little miscommunication with Braden Sorge, but there was no Olympic player there to pounce upon that. He's been improving every start he gets. Nick Soros still a while away. Hoping for Rockdale's sake he can be back in time for the final. Such a bizarre injury. Taking a goal kick, and he felt back of his calf or Achilles. Proceeded with a a very memorable night, but not for the right reasons from a Rockdale perspective. Clark trying to make this one more memorable for Sydney Olympic. He's not quite had his radar going today, has he, Seth Clark? Been a few passes like that have just flown off the wrong side of his boots. Very unusual. Ball running's been there as usual. It's lacking that little bit of cutting edge. It's actually Parkhouse who's created the most, along with Demi, who's always a handful. These are the positions they want him on the ball. Sorge has done a pretty good job in making sure he hasn't had too much freedom. Switches it for Qual. Pecora's forward. Oh, what a time this would be to get his first Olympic goal. Big appeals for handball. And then the free kick goes Rockdale's way. Well, that was all very messy. A heart-in-mouth moment between Ilinden defenders. Just clearing the ball into one another. That's fortunate it didn't strike an arm. Would have been a very messy and unnecessary penalty awarded against them as Armstrong scoops that ball over the top. Bit of a sting has gone out of Olympics play in the last 5 minutes or so. It's not to say they haven't had plenty of the ball to have. Mulgrew's looked fairly comfortable in everything he's had to do from a Rockdale perspective. Well, Jack Gibson's been pretty quiet in the last 10 minutes or so as well. First half hour was gripping fair. I assume we'll see something similar before the end of the night as well. Chalakian is looking for that ball in behind that Urasevsky loves. Gordon back for Gibson. He's happy to sweep away the danger. Plenty of options on both benches as well. Michael Vakis has found some form for Labano Haliti, Belly Callahan, Josh Hong. The defensive options, Tom Whifford and Sam Bosniak. For Rockdale, if they look to go there at the break, James Nikolovsky, Moody Najar actually started last week at left full back. Daniel Jurovic, that's his supposed position. Jerry Skotadis, who got a goal off the bench a couple of weeks ago against Spirit. And Chris McStay, his ball playing and running ability is there as well. Olympic looking to add some sting to their first half performance with a second goal. Pecora twisting and turning. Nicking the ball away from Speranza. Now Zoricic, who wants to go on that right foot, remember. Clark for Parkhouse. Be looking for the left. Stabs it out there for Clark. Pecora stayed forward. In fact, it's Zoricic. Gorgeous turn to beat Danzo. Parkhouse lays it for Clark. Coming together between Zoricic and Hunter Elliott off the ball. Olympic happy to keep possession. Gordon, as we tick into stoppage time. Pecora again, he's ended up in central midfield. Zoricic and the Stings just got out of it for Olympic. Rockdale looking settled in their structure. Clark. Parkhouse, is this the last chance of the first half? Mulgrew could only palm it clear, but that was enough. Takes Demi wide. And Speranza's able to deal with the forthcoming. Cole bundles him over. Speranza's been in that position too many times to not take full advantage. Qual was quite set about leaving a mark, I think. Another conversation between here and Urasevsky. They've been fired up, both of them, those two tonight. It's not usually one for the words and the coming together. Ten Qual, but the jeopardy and the occasion might just be playing into that a little. Still enough time for Rockdale to get restarted. they'd be quite happy for the half-time whistle to blow, given all that's transpired in the last 5 minutes or so. Olympic have just had a couple of half opportunities in the shadows of the break. Clearances that really aren't helping their cause. Parkhouse didn't judge his ball quite as he would have liked. Pufflet turning it over to his former captain. Free kick's gone Rockdale's way. A little shove after he let go of the ball on Ollie Pufflet. Again, there's some extracurriculars there. That's really silly from Adam Parkhouse. I don't know what he's gained there. Whether it was to leave a mark, but no need for him to be drawn into that. Whether it was just to leave an impression on young Hunter Elliott, but he's been around in this competition now long enough to know what that's all about. Well, I said both coaches might have liked the break. I don't know that Labado Haliti was quite as keen on it, given the way his team came flying home at the end of the first half. They weren't able to find a second goal. They took the lead after just 4 minutes through Ryan Feuds, his 6th goal of the season already, down in the NPL in New South Wales proper, after such a startling season or so up in the north of the state for Edgeworth Eagles. Rockdale responded though. They came hard and they came fast. And eventually Ali Orglar found the equaliser. Bit of magic on that left foot that we've expected from the Iraqi for so long. Ilinden looking back full of fire. Expect nothing less in this fixture, but we're all square as we head to the break at Jubilee Stadium. Sydney Olympic 1, Rockdale Ilinden 1. Welcome back to Jubilee Stadium, the second half of this big clash between Rockdale Ilinden and Sydney Olympic is all square after 45 minutes. Ryan Fuchs opening the scoring before Ali Orglar with one of Rockdale's goals of the season. Whether it'll end up across the entire States, we're yet to see. But it was a beauty of a strike on the turn, on the left foot, curling inside Jack Gibson's far post. Ilinden had the better of the majority of the first half, but Olympic came with a flurry late. Can they find a second? You feel the third goal of this game will be all important. We are back underway. Olympic in the blue and white of their Greek heritage. Rockdale Ilinden in the black and red of their Macedonian background. It's the rivalry between these two. Just stretched back a long time, even across the times where they weren't playing each other in competition with Sydney Olympic up in the NSL. Both proud clubs with storied histories. Rockdale, somewhat one of the sleeping giants over a lot of the State League's history. Hasn't been the case in the last 5 years. Perennial contenders for silverware. Fallen away in defence of their premiership over the last month. All but mathematically out of that contest now, but they're looking to carry some form towards the finals without a win in 5, looking to snatch one off their old rivals here. Going the right way about it at the start of the second half. Danzo. No changes from either team at the break either. Constable measuring the cross, and the header is straight at Gibson from Orglar. Not what he's known for, Ali Orglar, but it was an enterprising run, a strong header. Yard either side of the goalkeeper, and Rockdale would have taken a very early lead in the second half. Rasciuto's slip has allowed Clark to take the ball, and Demi's there. What a block from Elliott. Terrific piece of defending, outstanding football all round. In a matter of a minute, Olympic went from one end to the other and were only denied by Hunter Elliott's heroics. What a start to the second half. A whirlwind couple of minutes. And Olympic are trying to restore a measure of control on the score sheet. Donachie up for that one, easily claimed by young Ronan Mulgrew. '20-year-old, fourth game of the season. Poor turnover from Ilinden, and guess who's there? Fuchs shaves the post. And Labano Elite could not believe it. Almost ran back down the tunnel. His star striker nearly punishing another Rockdale defensive error. Rockdale have shown their riposte, but they've also shown an ability just to play themselves into danger. Let Olympic wrestle the momentum of the game back off them. Rowan Fisher's just trying to slow the tempo a little, give himself some control back by putting the ball right on the spot. Now Qual takes it. Clark for Armson. Donachie for Zoricic. Rides the first challenge. Clark, this is better from Olympic. Haven't they shown some enterprise at the start of this second half? Crossfield ball. Parkhouse is lurking! And Mulgrew didn't deal with it. There's a big appeal for a handball against Speranza. Waved away by the referee. Can't take your eyes off this at the moment. Chalakian, Orglar, there's numbers here for Rockdale, and Urasevsky's one-on-one with Donachie. Good piece of defending. Still the danger not averted, though. Constable. Was Armson taken off it? Slow to return to his feet, which gives Orglar time to measure a cross. Not cleared by Donachie. Eventually away by Pecora. Well, you feel it's a matter of who nicks the next goal and then who can keep their heads while madness and chaos continues to erupt around them. The committee full of love for their skipper. Got a goal from one of these situations in the first half. This one's even bigger. Massive throw. Sorge got up. The last touch was Olympics, so it'll be a Rockdale corner. It was Ziggy Gordon who managed to stick his head in there. Let's let the committee provide the soundtrack for just a moment. As their sides regather themselves for another attacking set piece. Pofflet's ball in. Schuto was flying across. Almost made something of it as well. Orglar offside. And close enough to the football. The free kick is blown. Despite Rockdale's protests. Every inch being fought for out there. Rusevsky arguing why he couldn't take the ball on. I don't know why Olympic were playing it back into that area, to be fair. Finally, the ball in the right spot. Constable heads clear. Reminder again, if you weren't with us in the first half, goals from Ryan Fuchs on 4 minutes, and then an answer from Ali Orglar. About 20 minutes remaining in the opening half. This was the scoreline until the 94th minute. In these two's last meeting here, Tenquol grabbed a dramatic winner. Celebrated right in front of the Rockdale fans, which made them not too happy. They had the last laugh, going on to claim the premiership. Not going to do the same here in 2025. They might ruin Olympics' memory of this ground ahead of their Australian Championship berth in October. Competition, Rockdale no doubt would like to be gracing themselves. Fortunately, they've given up room in the race to Spirit FC. Donachie playing forward, not known as a ball-playing centre-half in his time in the A-League. There was a fair bit of it. He's trying his hand as one here. Bit of help from Tenquol. Clark stepped on the ball rather than being challenged by any of the Rockdale players, and then the free kick goes Ilinden's way. They look to take it quickly, and the referee allows them to do so. Urasevsky's on his bike. Chalakian's played it into a very good area. Urasevsky, good cover from Donachie. Had to make a lot of ground. Still the danger not clear. Speranza. He get a goal on his return. Quol towering over Chalakian and winning the header. And then thumping the follow-up clear. Elliott read it well in the lights, but headed it straight down to Demi. And Fuchs is onside here. Hayden Kay's flag has stayed down. Good piece of defending from Elliott, who's really lifted to the scale of that task since Fuchs switched to his flank. Gee, there's been some good football from both teams this afternoon. And this afternoon has become evening. The temperature has cooled, it's become chilly, the action has only got hotter. Tempers of the players has only got hotter towards the end of the first half. And Luca Pecora took a little longer, or a little more green grass than the fourth official, I think it was that time, James Macris, who was not happy with that. And Ali Orglar's asking him to go back even further. Been a bit of that repartee between the two teams across the entirety of this game. It's been a joyous watch, really has. If you're a neutral, it's one that's had you on the edge of your seat if you're an Olympic or an Ilinden fan. Because, of course, this is the fixture they want to win more than any other, both of these clubs. For the historic rivalries that Olympic holds, all the clubs around them that they play big brother to, Rockdale Ilinden, this is the one that means the most. Players are buying into the jerseys and really playing that heart and soul tonight. It's what has made it such a good contest. Players make these rivalries. Both sets have stood up tonight. Still no substitutions from either manager. Perhaps they're seeing exactly what we are, that no player wants out of this battle at the moment. Speranza thumps it into Parkhouse, who as the captain has led the charge. Sydney Olympic president Damon Hanlon talked about bringing players into the club that wanted to give heart and soul for the badge. There's no doubt that Adam Parkhouse has lived that out to a T, hence him living in the captain's armband on the wing for them at the moment. He spent time at A-League level with the Wellington Phoenix a little while ago now. He's long been one of the most talented footballers in this competition. Championship winner with Manly United, who is a teammate of Brendan Chalakian. They made up 2/3 of a lethal attacking trident that year. Taken on each other as foes plenty of times since. Both searching for silverware. Donachie's foraying into midfield again here. He's done a number of times in the second half. Pass forward wasn't too bad either. It's brought Olympic throw about 30 yards from goal. Olympic have just restored an air of calm. Aliti's voice is running out of gas. He's feeling it as much as the players. Pecora returning it for Qual. He might lose it if they score here. Pecora's continued his run forward, and it was a desperate challenge from Chalakian. Playing as a box-to-box midfielder this evening. Doing a pretty good job of it too. Creative force called on to lend a helping hand. Parkhouse goes short for Seth Clark. Improves the angle. Looks deep towards Donachie. Away by Pufflet and then Sorge. Returned by Armson to Parkhouse. That part of his game just gone to another level. He always had it, Jack Armson, but he's had so much more opportunity to display it this year with Sydney Olympic playing in that deep-lying role. Next to 10 Qual. Talked about the silk and the steel. We've seen it from both of them tonight. Here's the silk. Can he thread a pass through? It might fall for Parkhouse. It was an awkward one for Speranza, who just got a kick in the heel for his trouble. Pressure relieving free kick for Rockdale. Just shy of an hour gone here at Jubilee Stadium, which has seen so many momentous occasions down the years. Hasn't been a happy hunting ground for Rockdale Ilinden. They're trying to turn it into one tonight. Lost last year's Waratah Cup final, lost that game against Olympic we mentioned here. As Ryan Fute's about to pile on more misery. He's face to face with Sorge. Couple in support, he just hesitated. Not allowed Sorge to get a foot in. Clark. Recycling possession. Zoricic. Gorgeous switch. Parkhouse just left it behind slightly. Orglar elected to keep it in for Olympics captain. And it fell for Demi. What a save by Mulgrew. A big moment for the 20-year-old. Very much based on his reactions. And he did just enough to tip it over. Sharp strike from Demi. Lacking direction more than pace. They take it short from the corner. Mulgrew diving off his line. Good couple of minutes for the young Ilinden goalkeeper. Another raid coming though. Clark. Pecora. Fuchs popped up on the right-hand side now. And that's a poor pass. Easily picked off by Risciuto. Was dragged to the turf by Demi. Had a good long look at it. Did the referee. And now Ilinden have been allowed to go quickly. Urasevsky ran into Gordon, managed to tackle his way past him and find Orglar. Couldn't reel it in. Leites continuing his discussion with Macris, the fourth official. His team have seen off the quick counter-attack. Jack Armson's leading the complaints along with Adam Parkhouse in the middle of the park. It's all getting very fractious. Can they try and craft another goal? The crowd are into it. Fine night of football this evening. Armson just left it short. Gordon showing pace beyond his years. We know about the awareness, but at 32, Ziggy Gordon's still as sprightly as ever. Another one of the countless in this Olympic squad, counting A-League experience on their resume. Prosciutto turning away from Demi's attention. Nice touch from Speranza. Orglar. Constable riding the challenge of Armson. Now he's got Clark to see off. He couldn't do that, and the challenge was fair. Fiertz. He's been the man for the moment. Like this for Olympic. He's done it again! All hell breaks loose at Jubilee, and Ryan Fiertz. Haliti's broken a chair. It's madness. It's ecstatic elation for Sydney Olympic as they take their lead back. Ryan Fiertz. We are running out of superlatives, sir. The ball spilled to him on the left, and he thought, I'll just have a go here. It was an inch perfect finish. So Ilinden asked to respond again. How much more have they got left in their locker? Make that a 7th goal in his 8th Olympic appearances. It is an unbelievable return. And now Urasevsky's off the shoulder, and he's onside. He's stolen away from Gordon, who got the ball. No! Free kick, and it's a red card for the Olympic centre-half. Through Urasevsky, and another twist in this unbelievable tale that is brewing here. And now a countenance of the decision, because if it's a penalty, I think Ziggy Gordon might be safe from red. It'd be safe just to hold his position there, Ziggy Gordon. Dan Kornowski is the assistant referee on the far side. He says free kick, so Gordon's red card is confirmed. Just a minute after Olympic took the lead back. This game's got a way of throwing up storylines. A way of twisting away from the turn it just took. It's happened again. Ziggy Gordon claims plenty of applause from the Olympic faithful as he makes his way down the tunnel. But he's left his team just over 25 minutes to see out with a goal advantage. I asked if Rockdale had a response. Who else was going to come up with it? Urasevsky in the wrong sides and drawing the challenge, which has changed the complexion of the match. Big decision from Rowan Fisher as well. He's had a busy evening. He stood up to the mark and he made it. If his view was correct. And he had to pull out the red card. That's exactly what he did. And now Jack Gibson has another tricky task on his hands. Looks 5 in the wall. Orgla scored in the first half. Will he try and pull Ranko Nurasevsky, who's in a bit of a goal drought at the moment? A bit of a rut by his standards. It's Urasevsky. Is there ever any doubt? Thunders into the wall. To cheers from the Olympic faithful. Now it's them providing the soundtrack. Both sets of fans going at it. Chalakian. The former Olympic charge fires over. So with Gordon off, Labano Haliti goes to his bench. It was probably the only decision he had given the state of the game. Sam Pozniak, 15-time A-League appearer, 15-time A-League player for the MacArthur Bulls, 21-year-old, about to be brought on in the heart of Olympics defence. So just taking a moment about it though. That's going to be Adam Parkhouse, who is removed. The first substitution from either team comes with 25 minutes to play. Parkhouse takes the applause. He is much loved at this football club. Very keen to lead them into the Australian Championship, no doubt. Fuchs knocks on. Sorge over the top. Chalakian running to contest. Pozniak wins his first touch. Constable appealing for the free kick. It never came. Rashuto. Qual. Fine piece of defending from Lockie Constable. Advantage, says referee Fisher. With Urasevsky drifting to the left. Knocks it into Luca Pecora. Chris McStay being called over to the Rockdale Ilinden bench. See if we get any of his ball-playing ability before the end of the night. He's just competing his warm-ups. We'll see. Keeping a very close eye on that Ilinden bench. They haven't been making plenty of lots and lots of substitutions lately. Chalakian and Elliott. This is turning into one of the games of the season. Still a quarter of it to write another little paragraph. Would be a happy one for Ilinden after they've trailed twice. Chalakian! Straight into Pozniak. Good piece of defending. The header from Sorge couldn't be reeled in by Isaac Danzo. Wide for Elliott. He'll get further and further forward now with this man advantage for Rockdale. Constable. Danzo for Chalakian, who held his run. Pufflet didn't, and then was happy to let the ball trickle behind for a goal kick. Big rivalry as we know this one, but not one that's been full of red cards down the years. The last one came back in 2023. It's 4 games ago between these two. That day it was young Matt Butner who was sent off in a Rockdale 3-1 victory. Before that, you have to go all the way back to 2019. Game that Olympic actually led after losing a man. Dimi Petrato scoring, and then Paddy Savour getting a winner for Rockdale. So they managed to turn the game around. Orglar leaving a foot in, and he's going to be added to referee Fisher's notebook. Ten Qualls come in for a fair bit of attention this evening. He's dished a couple of big challenges out as well. It's not been one the cards have been flying particularly. But the red to Ziggy Gordon, just 2 minutes after Olympic had taken the lead back, is, well, it could be the defining moment. Olympic are keen not to let that be the case. Hard to look away, as it has been all evening. Really spectacular turn-up from both teams. Engaged in the contest as Pufflet fires it out of play. Paul D less than impressed. Thompson bending that one over the top, but he's got his wires crossed a little with Qualt. Appreciated the effort, but not quite the timing of the pass. 20 minutes to go. One can only think what could happen over that amount of time. But take a braver judge than this commentator to predict a winner. Said the third goal would be all important. That has proven the case because of the fact that Olympic have gone down to 10 men moments after they scored it. This is the result they beat Rockdale by at this ground a year ago as they were chasing the premiership. It's not quite that serious this time as Constable brings down Demi, and that's his name to the book, or does he? Well, that will leave Olympic less than impressed. Mistimed rather than cynical, says referee Fisher. Demi has recovered from that challenge. Clark has had a much improved second half. Been looking down this end of the pitch for most of the night. It's not where all the scorings happen, but a fair bit of it. Lovely turn from Constable. Seems to have his feet on everything across this football match at the moment. Danzo. Prosciutto, and there's space for Rockdale on the left. They move it there with Speranza. And Orgla, who got their equaliser in the first half, looking to whip that in towards Uriszewski. Might fall for Pufflet. Plays the 1-2 with Uriszewski. Pufflet nearly had the big moment against his old club. Couldn't finish. Big save from Jack Gibson. These moments keep building in magnitude. Ollie Pufflet with a chance to put his name up in lights. Couldn't take the chance. Scored just one goal for Rockdale all season. What a time that would have been to get the second. Still there's a chance here. Danzo, he's a scrapbook scorer as well. And Ryan Fuchs turns defensive hero at Jack Gibson's back post. Rockdale have done this all season. They will just pummel opponents into submission. How's Olympic's chin? Chalakian's delivery. Deep. Only dealt with very late by Qual. Back in by Danzo. Again Gibson got up. This time he got a good fist to it. Orgla just hesitated a moment too long. Only fell for Elliott though. Speranza might have another go at it. Now Chalakian. Oh, he thought about a shot himself there before lowering the eyes, firing it into Donachie. Elliott too strong for Demi. Quick feet from Chalakian. Demi stayed down, so Olympic defending with 10. And Clark did it well, but it's another Rockdale Ilinden corner. And now a check on the well-being of Olympics number 9. Finally retrieving it. Chalakian delivers, and, well, it fell right at the top of the box. Speranza! Through the crowd and into the grateful arms of Jack Gibson. He's played in some big matches this season, hasn't he, Jack Gibson? Think about the Crunch Cup clash against Sydney United. That wasn't a happy memory. He has had more than a few, though, this season. Trying to taste derby delight for his first time in Olympic pink as their goalkeeper. It's a free kick, but the referee's played advantage because Clark's got the ball in a positive area. Quoll returning to his feet, wrote another challenge from Chalakian again. This time the whistle goes. Now Quoll staying down. It's just managing a bit of the momentum which Rockdale were building. Suits them just fine because they're about to turn to their bench as well. Jerry Skatadis and Moody Najjar both about to be brought on, just checking on their set piece assignments. Chris McStay is also stripping off. Olympic chance, fill the void. So we wait for action to resume. Should give you an update on what's happening from Popondetta Park because that game matters so much for Olympic at the moment, and Sydney United are hanging on to the 1-0 lead. Some conjecture about who that goal's been given to. Our latest check, it was Mason Wells. Sydney United leading by 1-0 at Popondetta Park with just under 20 minutes to play. Ryan Fuchs has been the hero. This could be the evening he really wrote his name in Olympic folklore. A hat-trick last week against Manly United. He's got 2 more this evening. Quoll ran into the wall of Sorge and then kicked through his shins. Rockdale trying to hurry, but they're the ones trying to bring on some substitutions, and it is a trio. Najjar, Skatadis and McStay, the ones being brought on. See Labanoa Elite just barking instructions. His team are so close to another famous win against their old rivals. Giorgio Speranza on his return to the starting side had a chance to finish off in the first half. Lockie Constable making his way from the field, and Ollie Pufflet, who's had Rockdale's best chance of the second half, turned away by Jack Gibson after a gorgeous little 1-2 with Rusevski. Would have been just his second goal in Rockdale Ilinden colours, wasn't to be. Elliott, who will be the hero for Rockdale. This man often puts his hand up. Rusevski, touch took him a little wide. Rashuto was trying to give Demi a bit of a different look and almost gave himself a piggyback ride there. Demi still striding forward, cut down by Danzo. Fairly, it must be said. Skatadis wants to get on the ball deep, try and dictate things. Plenty of ball players out there for Rockdale. Is there anyone to get on the end of any of that good work? Ali Ogla's trying to provide some more. It's Skatadis. Under hitting his first pass. Which is a glut of players across both teams, well, mainly across Olympic that have A-League experience. Skatadis is one of those on the Rockdale side of things, the mid-season signing from Sutherland. Ogla's ball. Half away by Bosniak, further away by Armson. Demi couldn't hold it up. He's doing the lone striker's job up there right now. Fuchs playing off him, but more focused on his defensive duties given the scoreline. And the fact there's just under 12 minutes to play. Chalakian into the channel. Bosniak there again. He's had a really good introduction to this game. Creative from Sorge, but effective enough. McStay has moved back out to that right-hand side where he started against Spirit. Skatadis. McStay stayed out there. Can he measure the cross? Not quite. Quoll's header comes straight back to him. Tried something tricky. Elliott. Armson thumps it into McStay and Gibson falls on it gratefully. So Olympic can just eat a little more precious time off the clock. Stretch this fixture out to 3 seasons without a winner who has played away from home. fact, it would take something of a miracle now for Rockdale to upturn that. 10 minutes, though. Funnier things have happened. Particularly for a team that possesses such firepower. I haven't showed it off over the last month or so. Long watchers of this competition know it's present. Know it could pick its head back up at any time. Elliott's onside, despite the Olympic appeals. The cross is deep. Too deep. And even Auglar can't reel it in. Pecora taking every second allowed. Every second he was able to resist under the pressure from the committee. Tenqual falling as he lost the ball. Trying to buy a free kick. Juraszewski with 10 minutes to go. Does that sound familiar? It's towards Risciuto. Thrusts it in again. It's a brave header from Ali Auglar, sticking his head where many others wouldn't stick their legs. Not quite able to steer it home. So the changes will come now from Labano Haliti's bench just to eat some more precious seconds away. Bailey Callahan is the one being brought on, former Sydney FC Academy product. And it's on for the hard-working Cyrus Demi. To call him just that is selling him short. A handful for all defences up and down the competition. No goal tonight, but with Fuchs next to him, a bit of the goal-scoring burden has been pulled off his shoulders. This effect has been seen in full again this evening. Team left to see out the game without him. Skatadis, he's looking for that ball for Juraszewski, couldn't quite take it in his stride. Bosniak and Donachie back together. Skatadis keen to leave an imprint on this game, but he rushed out of midfield, didn't get there. Qual. He's got a cool mind when he needs it as well, Tenqual. Talk a lot about the athleticism and goal-scoring ability he's got from midfield. The steal, but also the cool head. He's looking for another clever option here. Fuchs could have back-to-back hat-tricks. He's, slopped it, slid it. Slotted it the wrong side of the post. And he knows what a moment that could have been. I have to get the statisticians going back into the history books. So the last time a player in this competition scored 2 hat-tricks in 2 weeks. I'd have a guess at who it was. I'd have a guess he's even playing in this game tonight, but couldn't tell you for certain. Auglar for Danzo. Auglar. With Bailey Callahan fresh on off the bench. Danzo at the top of the box. Getting it back off the jar. Across the block was Donachie. Somehow Chalakian got his head to that. Still he's biting around at people's ankles. Juraszewski sticks it back out to Auglar's advantage. We're back where we started with Auglar turning away from Callahan. Risciuto. Now he's picked up a position infield. So crowded in there. Olympic staying solid. Oh, and there's a big appeal for handball. Still might fall for Juraszewski! Off the post. It just won't come for him. Still there for Danzo. Another appeal for handball. Again, it's waved away. Najjar. Still there's a chance for Rockdale. They've got numbers. Risciuto! And McStay thumping it into bodies. Zoricic, the hero. Juraszewski can't believe it. Twice he's hit the post tonight. Those goals that have seemed almost automatic when you need them can just slip out of your reach. you're looking for justice, you've come to the wrong sport. And it must be said, Olympics' defensive discipline has been nothing short of a stark contrast than what we have seen from them over the past 2 seasons. What's a renowned weakness, one of their greatest strengths, and that is down to the coaching of Labano Haliti, down to the character of the players and the squad they've built. This is not a game they would have seen out a year ago. Futz's night is over. The record's going to stay intact for now. Oh, and Nedjar was sweeping around the back, didn't make solid contact. Another chance goes astray for Rockdale. Oleg Jurasevsky is still looking bewildered at how that last ball did not end up in the back of the net. And I have to say, I tend to agree with him. 4.5 minutes for Rockdale to find their equaliser. Say they deserved it if Olympic hadn't been so game the other way. McStay. And that's not good. Ryan Futz, as he's walking down towards the tunnel, is grabbing at a hamstring. That would be such a sour way to end what has been such a spectacular couple of games. He still could be the name that's the hero tonight. And his replacement, I should have mentioned, remiss of me not to, Michael Varkis. So like-for-like substitution. Plenty of hard running from Varkis, and if a chance falls his way, no doubt he'll be close to taking it as well. Futz was just inches from a hat-trick. Jurasevsky probably less than that from an equaliser just a moment ago. This game has been on a knife's edge all evening. Those of you joining us right at the closing stages, go back and have a watch. Highlights will be up tomorrow. Football New South Wales YouTube page where you found this game. Reminder to check us out. NPL New South Wales on Facebook. On Instagram and X, it's NPL NSW. McStay ready, 2 in the wall. And it's back across into a dangerous area for Olympic. Gibson above the pack. The last touch, I think, was Gibson's, but he's been fouled in the process. I'm quite sure Olympic have got a free kick here out of all of that. And so the Olympic fans rise again. Rockdale's committed to their side as ever, but so frustrated by what they've seen over the last little period of Rockdale Ilinden play. James Nikolovsky's being rated as a last-ditch auxiliary striker, I'd suggest. Ilinden almost out of attacking options on their bench. Nikolovsky, the last roll of the day. Staniel Djurovic is there, but he's one start. I don't think he's going to see the pitch. Nikolovsky joining the action. Hunter Elliott removed. Jack Gibson, having won that free kick, is now set to get things back underway. Going to see a fair bit of stoppage time here, I think, as well. Gibson's launched it way out of play to the seats on the far side. That takes some effort as well. Cavalcade of Olympic ball boys over there to feed the ball back to Braden Sorge. Danzo. still conducting. Still looking for a chink in Olympics armour. Najjar might have found it with that run. Back for McStay. Lovely little Cruyff turn. Gave himself a yard. Now set to deliver. Chalakian just swung his heel at it. Urasevsky under Gibson, who lost his handle on the football, but again won the free kick. And again will take his time. This time Rowan Fisher having none of that. Olympic just moments away from another famous victory against Rockdale Ilinden. Another dramatic evening. I mean, not quite as dramatic as it was here a year ago. It'll mean just as much to Olympic fans. In fact, it might mean just a little bit more with finals in the picture in 2025. Skataris. Rockdale could still ruin their joy with a late equaliser of their own. Skataris, wasteful. The ironic cheers come from the Jubilee stands. No doubt the chant of Olympic will get one or two more runs before the players leave the pitch. If they can do so again here. Still only one loss at this venue for Sydney Olympic. Some big clubs have come. Marconi and Rockdale set to be conquered. Spirit the only other side to do that this season. Conquer last year's grand finalists, both on their home turf. Or just conquer them at all across the 2025 season. Chalakian trying to get to the byline. Gorgeous feet. Sustained defending from Pecora. Still he got the crossover, Chalakian. McStay. Donachie. Dogged defence. But it's another corner. And now it's just a matter of how long. There's no electronic board here at Jubilee Stadium, so your guess is as good as ours. Pecora's gone down. James Nikolovsky, whether it's sporting or not, is offering to help him off. Physio's not been called. Rowan Fisher says, let's get on with it all. Now Ali Oglar can deliver the set piece. Decent one, Donachie there. Gibson held out. Nikolovsky got the touch. And Rockdale have salvaged the point. Not quite as late as Quall's goal here last year, but just as precious to Rockdale Ilinden. The pressure just kept on coming, and Olympic, as dogged as they'd been with 10 men, couldn't quite keep the walls up. Gibson held out of the contest, and James Nikolovsky, not for the first time this season, with a late equaliser. Could Olympic win it again? Callahan! Blocked well by Danzo. Been right at the heart of everything. Or could Rockdale steal it all? It really would be sticking their fingers in the cookie jar. Oglar, he's already got one. Dancing feet, kept them long enough. Skataris, away by Bosniak. McStay keeps it alive. Bosniak finishes the job. Quall, the lone man up front, wrestled to the turf by Nikolovsky, and the free kick is Olympics. They've got numbers if they're allowed to take it quickly. I can't see Rockdale letting them do that. Players piling behind the ball. Donachie goes sideways. Clark. Still enough energy in those legs, which have covered so much ground tonight. Callahan skips away from Skataris. And then blazes it over the crossbar. Rockdale won all 3 points here. As unlikely as it is, they could keep themselves in the premiership hunt with a win here. It's still 1-0 at Popondetta Park. Half-time down in Wollongong, and it's the Wolves leading Spirit by 1-0, which means if Rockdale can get a winner here, they're right in the premiership race still. Hung up, and there's the chance. Gibson saves. Skatadis' header palmed away. Still there's more time for the visitors. Rockdale have played some crackers this year. None as nail-biting as this. Orglar. Oh, it took 2 touches. Fired off Nikolovsky, I think. Yes, and behind for a goal kick. Tense, topsy-turvy derby fair. It has had the lot. Goals, red cards, broken seats on the sideline. One for the ages, an instant classic. Gibson's booked. Again, he's bombed it into the seats. It might just be enough. Sorge has done a lot of running out on that far touchline. Risciuto. You tell me how long we've played now. Chalakian. Still he's there. Donachie again. He's been heroic tonight. The mid-season signing in the absence of Ziggy Gordon. Where would they be without him? Urasevsky's going to give it one last heave. Risciuto's there. Gibson got above the pack this time. Skatadis. Sorge, McStay. Who's going to take it up? Skatadis does. Doesn't beat Armson. Clearance only as far as Danzo. Every Olympic player behind the ball. Almost in the box. Floated deep. Nikolovsky's there again! Blocked. The handball appeals were half-hearted. There's still time for another Rockdale corner. Right in front of their supporters. Haven't they been taken on a magical mystery tour in 2025? McStay. Urasevsky's there. Flicks it on, flicks it over. And that might be it all over. A classic between Olympic and Rockdale. Twice the host led. Ryan Fuchs with a double a week after his hat-trick. Answered in the first half by Ali Orglar, in the second by a stoppage time equaliser from substitute James Nikolovsky. Both teams fall to their haunches because it hurt both of them. Rockdale probably out of the premiership chase. I think you can write off their title defence. The championship, their lone path to silverware in 2025 now. And for Olympic, still in the finals hunt, but outsiders looking up at Sydney United 58. A game plenty will remember, perhaps not as fondly as they might have had the result differed. Filled with controversy, filled with big moments, and players fully engaged with the contest. It was a superb watch, a terrific night's entertainment. Thank you for joining us on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. Alex Molchanoff signing off from Jubilee Stadium. The crowd are becoming fractious, unsurprisingly after that. It's finished. Sydney Olympic 2, Rockdale Ilinden 2.